So we had a comment recently asking us to do David Gilmour. We're a democracy on this channel.
Well, we respond to the audience.
We're happy to take suggestions, comments from other people you'd like to see Dad talk about. But you shot David Gilmour a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, the story starts like when I was at college. My best friend, Howell, we had adjacent bed sits, and every night we would have a ritual, and that would consist of us smoking mainly cigarettes, but sometimes the odd joint, and we would basically put on Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and then the Wall, and we played chess.
You must have been pretty chuffed when you got the opportunity to.
Well, that was the end of the 80s, or mid 80s, and then fast forward, I was working at the Observer. I was getting all these great jobs. The editor of the magazine was Justine Picardy. I'd do anything for her because she really supported me. And as a photographer, you need a benefactor. You need somebody who really gets behind you. And she loved me. And, you know, I'd come into the office and I'd bypass the picture editor, much to the picture editor's annoyance. And Justine would get me in the office. I think I told you, you know, and sort of talk about what shoots were coming up. And she asked me a favor. And she said that she had this friend, Polly, who'd written this book, and would I take some pictures of her? And so, of course, I agreed. Let's just say I had no idea who Polly's husband was. So to make life easy for me, I suggested we just do the shoot at my place in Hackney, a sort of house down a cul-de-sac. And
Maynell Crescent, was it?
No, Maynell Gardens.
Maynell Gardens.
And our neighbour was Tommy Walsh from Ground Force.
Well,
I don't remember that.
It rings a bell, Tommy Walsh.
Yeah, well, they had a sort of jaunty theme tune. But basically, during the shoot that day, Justine had a party. Polly was going, and I'd been invited. And Polly said, could her husband come and pick her up, and we'd all go to the party together. Still didn't know who her husband was. I was taking pictures of Polly on the common, black and white. I was still shooting film. It was 1998. And I noticed that there was a bit of a furore among the neighbours in our little cul-de-sac in Hackney. There was a racing green convertible Aston Martin parked. You had to park with one set of wheels up on the curb, because there wasn't enough room.
Gotcha.
And this car had arrived, and somebody had parked, and it was already in the house, and it was Polly's husband, David Gilmour.
Oh my God!
My absolute hero.
Yeah. What was that like? What did you feel?
Well,
like?
it was extraordinary. We were just all chatting, getting ready to go to the party, and so I ushered David into my office, a bit like this office, and I remember really well, I had a CD, I think it was called The Division Bell. It was like an album that Pink Floyd had done, and it was on the desk. And he came in, and the thought just went into my head, should I get him to sign it, or should I hide it? But I didn't draw attention to it or anything. You know, I had a really good chat with him. And they say you shouldn't meet your heroes, but in this instance, it was the start of, you know, an ongoing relationship, and I did 2 subsequent shoots for him.
Okay, so firstly, he took you to the party in his Aston Martin.
Well, Polly and he went in the Aston Martin,
okay.
And I followed behind in, I think probably I had a Peugeot 405 diesel estate. I can't remember where the party was. I do remember not knowing anyone except for David and Polly. And so I spent most of the time talking to him. And he's just as amazing a sort of guy as you'd expect him to be. Yeah. I mean, really, really intelligent, lovely, you know.
Was he open with you? Because I've read online people say he's really, really private.
Yeah, I think, he was lovely. I mean, I remember discussing bicycle seats and the fact that, you know, bicycle seats for men had this sort of hollowed out bit to prevent men getting erectile dysfunction because of that sort of, you've got this kind of blood vessel that goes to your penis, and it's sort of, but basically, you know, he was extremely knowledgeable on a whole, he had a sort of encyclopedic kind of knowledge
from bike
about
seats
stuff.
to music.
Absolutely. And it was just a really wonderful, to confirm that, you know, often I have met people that I really admire and I'm struck dumb, but it was just, it was nice. It was nice hanging out. And then in 2005, I was asked to do some artwork, do portraits for his album. I think it was called On an Island, and I went down to his place in Petworth, I think it is, in south of London, out in the countryside, his estate, and we
What was that estate like?
beautiful,
Yeah, I bet.
beautiful,
Was it a
yeah.
mansion? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, as you'd expect, really. And yeah, I mean, he was showing me his guitars, and it was just a lovely day.
mm,
And I got some. More importantly, I got some really good pictures, and it was sort of, it was wonderful kind of combination of all the ingredients you want. Really,
wow,
it was a great subject, an iconic subject. An important person in the kind of progression of popular music, a great person who's commissioning it, who gave me complete freedom. We just did. He did whatever I wanted. We went down to this boathouse. He had a whole lake, and I photographed him in the boathouse. That was my favorite picture, and the picture I put in my portfolio. And but it was very relaxed and really enjoyable.
yeah.
And then I went on to photograph them again,
Am I
and
mistaking him for someone else? Did he sell off a bunch of his guitars, or
that might be the case.
yeah? I
Yeah,
think he sold them
for charity
for
or something
charity.
like
Yeah,
that.
and one went for crazy amounts of money. I think.
That could be. We'll have to look that up. But I do remember, and I hope this isn't sort of talking out of turn. I hope he won't be annoyed at me talking about this. But I was very excited. I'm not a student of guitar. I have got an unplayed guitar in the corner of the room that I've never learnt
Yeah, you're more
to.
piano.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'd love to be a musician. It's something I aspire to. But I am a student of design and iconography, and I'm aware of the importance of the design of the Coca-Cola bottle, and the Fender Stratocaster falls into that category. And he showed me he has the first, or he had, maybe he sold it, the first ever Fender Stratocaster.
Wow,
So
it's the black and white one, right?
yeah, it was black, I think, and
Okay.
it had the serial number 0000 whatever 1.
Wow.
So
What
pretty cool.
yeah, what a flex.
What I should mention is there was Justine's sister died much too young, and in fact, he used my picture of her on a book that she'd done of columns that she'd written for Justine that were published in the Observer. And I think Justine set up a charity called the Lavender Trust, and they had this gig which Justine got me along to sort of document the rehearsals. And I'd say that was one of the most amazing moments, was being on stage with just me and David, and him playing acoustically "Wish You Were Here," and hearing him just playing it on in the middle of the day, just photographing these black and white pictures. I've completely forgotten about it, but I love that album. I love "Wish You Were Here," and it's one of those albums it's about Syd Barrett, who used to be in Pink Floyd, and he had a few mental health issues, and it's sort of kind of a big mystery, and then Roger Waters came in, I think. But it was a moment when you just take a deep breath, and you can't believe you're there.
Yeah, I can
I mean, it's
imagine.
like being with Prince or
Yeah,
Miles Davis, or
it's the same level as that.
yeah,
Mm.
and hearing him do that "Wish You Were Here," I mean, just acoustically, and hearing him just playing with it.
If only you were a videographer instead of a photographer.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
If only I'd had a pair of Meta glasses.
Yeah, that's a little teaser for
Film Meta.
We're not shouting out Meta
No.
or alternate brands.
Or
Ray-Ban
alternate,
or-
yeah, and exactly. And I was reminded that that the demographic of people who wear Meta glasses is not necessarily one that I would want to be associated with.
Why?
Well, someone told me that, because they're used for people chatting up women in the street and
Oh,
then
really?
posting online. Yeah.
Oh, actually, maybe I've seen a few.
But
videos of
we
that.
have got a pair, and we will be doing a shoot in the future. And from my perspective, and then sort of talking about
Yeah, you'll be
why
able to
I make the
see
decisions.
What you're looking at during a shoot,
Yeah.
like what you're thinking, and you're just kind of how you interact with the subject.
Yeah.
So
Which we
I think
did
it'll be
with
good.
Lynn Barber. So something
Yeah,
along those lines.
but I think it'll be a bit more
Yeah.
refined.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he remembered you then.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that was why I think I got the shoot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, more importantly, Polly remembered me. Polly's lovely. She's written subsequent books, and I've done more pictures of Polly.
Yeah.
And in fact, we saw Polly and David at the recent Radiohead
Oh yeah. That's
gig that we.
another flex.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see them, and you know, as I said, the bottom line is that it's lovely to be able to confirm that somebody's as cool as you would hope they would be.
Yeah, that's a great place to end. But I do want to ask more questions.
Well, you can cut that back in,
Yeah,
can't you?
we'll see. But firstly, do you remember anything he said to you? Do you remember any conversations apart from the bike seat? Anything which stood with you?
Well, it was not. It was, if you think about it, it was 1998,
Yeah,
so it's
but
almost 30 years ago.
for someone like that, surely he'd say something that would
Um,
never leave you.
I think we just had a. It was a free-ranging conversation.
Yeah.
It was kind of not what you'd expect. I mean, the other thing is not to be that guy where you're just talking about music and saying, I
Yeah.
love what you do. And I didn't tell him about the fact that I'd spent like with Johnny Marr,
Yeah.
that I'd spent my student years
Yeah.
listening to
But
his wonderful.
you hadn't made that mistake yet.
No,
This could have it's whether Johnny Marr came afterwards.
no, Johnny Marr was before that.
Oh, so you
So
had
I'd
learned your
learned.
lesson.
I'd
So
learned.
for people who don't know, you might not have seen our Johnny Marr video.
Yeah,
You
that was-
professed your love to him one-on-one in a locked
Yeah,
room,
it
dark.
was awkward because Mr. Marr was, he was as cool as you'd think he would be, and then similar actually, aren't they? They're both amazing, seminal, s- singular kind of musicians, on guitarists.
Mhm.
They're completely recognizably individual when you hear them play. And with Johnny Marr, it was for Select, and I just couldn't resist it. I sort of told him how much he meant to me. But I
Yeah.
did learn a lesson because it changes the dynamic. And a portrait, as we always keep saying, is about that relationship you have. And if it's an unequal relationship, if there's a huge power differential, that can cause problems.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So, favorite picture
definitely the shot of him in the boathouse, I
in the
think.
boathouse. Okay.
Mm.
Would you want to do a print of that one?
Well, actually, Mr. Gilmour, I think, owns the copyright.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what. I think that would probably be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be fine. He can
Yeah.
let us know if there's a problem.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, it's a great picture, and I think it's nice when it was taken in a kind of an environment that he felt comfortable in.
When you meet someone like this who you're such a big fan of, like a few days later, a few weeks later, do you not run the conversations you had with him through your head and think like, oh, why
I
did I
do
say
think I do regret not doing journaling,
Yeah.
having a diary, having that discipline to actually record those thoughts and feelings. I mean, in my subconscious, it'll be there. I do remember subsequently, I think I was photographing Polly for the Sunday Times, and I just sort of, I remember sort of us chatting afterwards, and I probably feel embarrassed because I sort of let it slip that I was such a huge fan, and so it's just never a good look. It
Yeah.
just sort of creates an imbalance.
It was cool seeing him at the Radiohead concert. He did have like an aura, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he would have enjoyed the gig.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, I think that's good. Anything else?
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And
Like
please
and
like
subscribe.
and subscribe.
Hype the video.
Hype the video.
Yeah, that's the new one. You
Yeah. Does that do anything?
don't know. Yeah, we'll find
Yeah.
out if people hype the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make this an opportunity to hype.
Cool, nice one.